So hello and welcome. I'm Frederick Dunn, and today I'm looking at something that's very important this time of year. It's a Japanese beetle trap by Rescue. Now in the past, Tanglefoot has been my favorite trap, and I never liked traps that had bags on them. The reason is, once a bag was used, you had to throw it in the trash, buy a brand new bag, and they were very expensive. This particular design has a bag, but it's 100% reusable. So I'm going to demonstrate this to you. We're going to collect beetles and we're going to feed them to chickens and fish. So it has the floral lure, great pheromone lures as well. So the males will think they're flying up to a female, and instead the joke's on them, they're going to fall into this bag. Now this looks like a zip tie, and then it looks like something that would seal up like a Ziploc baggie, but it's not. This thing's like Velcro, only it's really open. I didn't really understand that at first, but first, it makes it reusable. Second, water can pass through and it won't build up and kill your beetles. They have these fancy clips on top too. They look like they're good for something, but all they do is hold it together until you open the packet. So basically the way it comes is the trap itself. There's no extra packaging other than for this floral and sex lure, which I'm holding in my hands right here. And it goes on top of these little veins that hang above the bag. And when the beetles fly in to take a closer look at the lure, they bump into these veins and fall down into the bag, and then you've got them. So it's really kind of ready to go. You just open it up, put it together, put your oversized twist tie on the top, and you're going to hang it somewhere. I'm also going to show you how I hang them, because I've been doing these for years, and I really like collecting Japanese beetles, and I've been putting up videos about them, and this is new for me, so we're going to try it out. And pretty self-explanatory. So here we are in my pollinator habitat. I keep honeybees, and I can't have Japanese beetles eating all my stuff. I don't like it. So I'm going to show you things like my linden trees. I'm going to show you what a Japanese beetle looks like in the first place, and that sometimes you might confuse it with something else, which is called the dogbane beetle. So we're going to show you that too. So we'll take a walk through my apiary here. And we're going to put these 4 traps up on a crossbar that I leave in place, and I've tested a lot of traps year after year. But first we have to look at this. Whoa, that's swamp milkweed. So I plant things like this around for pollinators. And look at that. What is it? That's buckwheat. So I don't want Japanese beetles munching my buckwheat. That's for the bees. And then we get up here, see this crossbar? It's going to hold 4 traps. We're going to put them on there. See those hooks? It's been up there for years. And why did I place it right here? Now you're going to put these traps all over your property, but this is upwind of my linden trees, also called basswood trees. And the Japanese beetles get on them and munch the leaves, and now we're going to harvest them, see? We put 4 traps there, dangling in the wind. Now why don't I put them right down close to the ground? Well, as you notice, I may have free-range chickens, and they could peck open the bags and ruin my day. Here's a Japanese beetle. It's a male. He's hanging out. See his club antennae sticking up? They're really sharp too. Look at their defensive practices. They don't try to bite you. They don't fly away. You know what they do? They flip over and tumble off of things. It amazes me that they even live. You could hold a jar underneath a leaf and walk by and just touch the beetle, and it's going to fall into the jar off the leaf. And look at the damage to my linden trees here. This is one of the main reasons why I have to catch the Japanese beetles. And this is another linden tree. Now this has ants on it. They're okay. They're just there for the nectar. But if you look at the leaves right here to the right, they've been chewed on by beetles, so we don't like them. Here's another Japanese beetle. Look how they characteristically hold their legs up like that. That's when they're being bothered. Touch it with your fingers. It's going to topple off and fall on the ground. But it's munching this leaf. Here they are again. They're not just munching leaves, they're reproducing on the leaves. The disrespect never ends. So they're just out here. There's more buckwheat, of course. Buckwheat's for bees. And they reseed themselves. And there's more buckwheat and a woven wire fence and some milkweed down there. Now the Japanese beetles don't eat the milkweed. Why not? Well, because there's other beetles that do that. But here's another close-up, so there's no identity issue. That's a Japanese beetle, but it's on spreading dogbane. It doesn't seem to be eating it. It's just parked there. This is what eats the dogbane. What's it called? It's a dogbane beetle. That's right. Spreading dogbane has its own beetle. Look at that. Now, they say that this trap will lure these as well, but I didn't find any in my Japanese beetle traps. And that's probably okay, because there's a lot of people that like these spreading dogbane beetles. And this is in the state of Pennsylvania, in the northeastern part of the United States. I'm just giving you close-ups of these things. Here's another one. Japanese beetle or dogbane beetle? You're right, it's a dogbane beetle. So this is not the target. See, this one got shy and hid behind the leaf. So I follow them around until I get the pictures I want, even though they don't sign model releases. It's just what I do. Now they're in the bags. So it's been a couple of days. So we have 4 bags with Japanese beetles in them. What are we going to do? I'm going to show you how to kill them and then how to recycle them. And we're going to recycle them to what? Chickens first, fish last. And we're not going to use any chemicals to kill them. If you really wanted to kill them, of course, you would just open the bags, wash them into some soapy water, and they'd be dead and done. If you're going to do that, I highly recommend Dunn Ultra Free and Clear dish soap in water, and that'll kill them. Now this is a slow motion sequence just to show you. As soon as I hung them up, the beetles were just flying straight at them, and they're just bumping into them, and then they fall down into the bag, and then once they're in the bag, you come out and you get them. Now if you didn't want to touch them, this is not your bag probably, because you have to open these. But you're not disposing of the bags every time they're full. You don't want to leave a bunch of dead beetles in here. When you leave a bunch of dead beetles in there, they start to smell like a dead animal. If they smell like a dead animal, the other Japanese beetles won't come after them because they don't smell right. So you have to, every 2 or 3 days, come out and empty your bags, which is much better than throwing the bags away, paying $6 for 3 replacement bags, which I think is super high. These you just use over and over again. And as I mentioned, keep them up in the air even though the instructions tell you to keep them low. If you have a dog that's walking by and it smells beetles in a bag, they'll chew them open. It's not good news. Trust me on that. So here we go. I have a gallon glass jar. I'm going to fill this thing with hot water and nothing else. How hot's the water? Right about 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Fill it about halfway. I don't want it full all the way. We're going to see how many beetles we get. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to show you how to empty the bags, put them in the water, and then I'm going to show you what we do with them next. So you can see through the bag. They're moving around in there. They're not dead. Haven't been there long. And then when we tear open the bag, we put them in the jar, and then I'll show you what happens. The hot water takes care of them. Now again, if all you want to do is kill them, you're going to add some dish soap to this water. That breaks the surface tension. It defeats the cuticle on the beetles, and they drown very fast. This is hot water. The hot water kills them. A couple of them fly away. Note to self, only open the corner of the bag, shake them over, and then dump them in. Also, give the jar a little swirl so that the beetles aren't able to fly out on you. We want to catch as many of these Japanese beetles as possible. Why do we want to do that? Because we have chickens to feed and fish to feed. See they're flying up? You have to swirl the jar. And don't forget to reseal the bottom of the bag once you've dumped them out. If you leave it open, they're just going to fall through and come out again, because the lure that they have doesn't do anything to hurt the beetles. All it does is draw them in. It's a mechanical collection system. It's not a chemical system. It's not a pesticide. So this is really good if you're into pollinators and things like that. You don't want to make the world toxic. Hot water and beetles. That's all we have. So now we have a bunch of Japanese beetles in a jar. This gives us a chance to really look at them up close and see what other species might have been drawn in. And I can tell you ahead of time, it only got Japanese beetles. It did not get any of those spreading dogbane beetles, which is fine with me. Doesn't take long before they're not moving very well, and then of course they're going to be dead. Now you can make the water hotter, but remember you're going to have to pick up the jar, and I recommend it be a glass jar too, by the way, easy to clean up. But there's all the beetles for you. Now we're going to feed them to the chickens. Chickens love all kinds of bugs. Now this is important. We want the chickens to hunt Japanese beetles. So we teach them what to eat. We do that by providing samples. So once you toss Japanese beetles out of the chickens and they decide that chicken ate one and didn't die, the other chicken ate one and seemed to like it, chickens do what chickens do. And so when you teach them the Japanese beetles are something they should be eating, there won't be a beetle safe that's within 24 inches of the ground with this free-ranging chicken flock. You might be wondering what kind of chickens these are. Well, the black ones there are Minorcas. The buff one lower left was a buff Orpington. It just ducked out. And that's a barred Plymouth Rock. They are very good birds. So these are all free-ranging chickens. We've had free-ranging chickens here for 26 years. And they love Japanese beetles. They like all kinds of stuff. They're omnivorous. There's a golden lace Wyandotte right there. Buff Orpington in the back. Golden lace Wyandotte's on the right. Barred Plymouth Rocks rushing in to get the beetles. So they get along really well, but when they're out on their own, they cluster up with their own kind. It's pretty interesting. So if you like chickens, you want to give them some added protein and use them for bug control. Start them off by feeding them Japanese beetles. Now here we are at the pond. What's in the pond? Koi, bluegill, golden shiners, fathead minnows. They all like Japanese beetles. Well, basically, they like any bug that hits the water. But this is a great way to recycle your beetles. That way you don't feel bad about collecting them in your traps in the first place. You chuck them out there, the fish eat them, even the little fish grab them. And it's kind of satisfying. Now, sure, the chickens would have eaten all of them. So I spread it out just to kind of show you that there are a lot of benefits to Japanese beetles while they're fresh. Don't let them be dead for very long before you're feeding them back to your chickens and your fish, or they won't be happy with you. So here we are. This is July the 10th. And the fish are very happy to have a treat like this. That's a bluegill right there. Koi. More bluegill. The long, skinny ones are golden shiners. And that's it. So, these are traps I recommend. They work very well. You don't have to use toxins and pesticides. Just use hot water and cycle them back to your chickens or even wild birds for that matter. I'm Frederick Dunn. Thanks for watching.